What up, peeps, and welcome to a trade video. We have so much awesome stuff to go over. We're going to start going across the top row here. We have the two Shantae Classic Editions, I think is what they call these, for the Nintendo Switch. They look like oversized Game Boy boxes. Those are both factory sealed. We also have some really awesome PS1 games here. Lunar 2, fully complete, Arc Lad Collection, complete, and then Lunar Silver Star Story. It's marked as having no manual. I didn't personally take this one in. I didn't open it, so I'm not sure what it's actually missing, because the manual is like a thick booklet, so I'm not sure. We have the Lunar Demo CD, which is brand new, Paradise Kiss DVD, Yellow Label Metroid for the NES, which it's kind of like the Player's Choice version of it, but it's way harder to find, so that's super cool. The box is different as well for it. A couple other more expensive NES games, and this weird little Yoda, I don't even know what it is. All right, going back here, we have the more inexpensive titles here, starting with the original Xbox. A couple games in here, even though they're cheaper, are games that we do not get very often. The Trophy Bass 2007 and Goblin Commander. We just never see those games come in, so very cool. Also into some PlayStation 2 games. One little PS1 game there, Spec Ops. And then some DVDs here. Getting into the Xbox One and PS4. And then the Xbox 360. Couple games here too that we just don't get very often. The PopCap Arcade Collection Volume 1, and then the Tekken 6, stuff like that. PlayStation 3 games here. A little bit of PSP. We have the Tales of Symphonia Special Edition for PS3, which is super cool. The Luigi Good Smile figure, also really awesome. Neither of these are new, they're both pre-owned. We have some cheaper NES games here. And then we have all the stuff laid out here to look at. So we have the Super Cobra, which is a like magnifying glass and light for the Game Boy. We have a link cable for the original Game Boy, Japanese, and then a couple complete in box Japanese Game Boy games, including Ultraman. We have the Special Edition Tribal Game Boy Advance SP. This is an official Special Edition console. This is not like some decal someone put on there. It's actually printed on here. Kind of cool, kind of cheesy. Also don't get that super often. We have the 2DS XL, and then some Super Nintendo games. And aside from Killer Instinct and Mario Kart, we never get Ultima, Runes of Virtue 2, Lord of the Rings, or Fatal Fury. They're not super rare, but they're definitely a little bit more uncommon, so it's cool to see those coming in. Also some box games here, NFL and Jungle Book. And then we have the more expensive Xbox 360 games. I don't know if we've ever had this game come through. That does not look familiar to me at all. Afro Samurai, got some Fallout stuff here, Dragon Age. Then we have some original Xbox, SSX Tricky, Terminator, Breakdown we don't get very often, and Hulk, and then also Simpsons. And then a couple PS2 games here, Resident Evil, NBA, Street, and Shadow. Two N64 games. One that's not so exciting, and one that is, or it would be, I guess, aside from the really bad condition on the label. The back one looks all right. One of the little tabs is broken there, and then the front label, it's just so ugly. Unfortunately, that is the collector's edition of the game. One Dreamcast game, a factory sealed copy of Alice Madness Returns for the PS3. This game's kind of hard to find anyway. It should not be marked as excellent condition because I do see a rip right there, so I will fix that. But still, hard to find even opened. Not like super rare, but you know, little uncommon. So to get one sealed, I think is really cool. And then some GameCube titles. And we get stuff like Kirby and Pikmin in pretty often. What we don't get in very often is something like Phantasy Star Online Episode 3, but I think we actually have 2 copies right now, which is crazy. So love seeing more GameCube. A couple PSP games here, Silent Hill and Metal Gear. One Genesis game, Mutant League Football. A couple PS4 games here. And lastly, a couple more PS1. So there it is, but there's plenty more to come. Trust me, there's a gigantic Vita collection coming up that you guys do not want to miss, so stick around.
So as you guys knew, every day we get in hundreds of games. This is cute. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, a lot of stuff we get in I've never seen before. I've seen most of these, obviously, and we've got the cool red cart Doom. I think a lot of these colored carts, especially in the Super Nintendo era, had gray cart variants. but the colored cards were actually more common than their gray cart variants. I'm not sure about Doom, but I've always loved this bright red. It's like my favorite shade of red. My girlfriend's been playing Doom the Dark Ages, and she's been having a blast. And we've got these guys here. While I'm yapping, I just want to say how annoyed I am at these games that come with 2, but the second game is a download code. Pretty sure I've mentioned this in the store before. Where'd it go? We keep it behind the counter. We're fine. But the Ezio collection and the Rebel collection both have all of the games on the cart itself, which I think is just a much better deal, not just for, you know, you're buying all of the games that the box says, but also in the future, what if the Switch closes its eShop and you can't even buy the Tie 2? Oh yeah, we also do Pokemon cards. A lot of Pokemon cards. It looks like all of this is everything under a couple of bucks, or just a buck, actually. Yeah, so somebody brought in all of their childhood Pokemon cards, and they're old. They're I think everything was from the first couple of sets. As you can see, you can only see Kanto and some Johto Pokemon in there. It's pretty cool. There's some Japanese sets in here as well. And then over here, everything that's tagged is over 10. And as you can see, there's a good amount. Some rockets, even some Japanese trainer cards that are up a little bit. I've never seen this Mewtwo card before, and I kind of love it. Oh, it's a promo. Probably from the movie? This is definitely a movie promo card. Dark Alakazam. Yeah, some cool stuff. We've already sold a good amount of this to, like, somebody had a couple of these cards on their wish list, a Blastoise and a Venusaur holo, and they were like, do you have more? So we showed them. That's just what happens when you're, oh my god. How much are you? Mine? What was I saying? Oh, that's just the perks of having an account with us and putting stuff on your wish list. We are likely to let you look at the rest of it before it even hits the floor or even gets shown. Ooh. That's a cool Gyarados. Ugh, I love Pokemon. I'm really excited for the new Pokemon Legends to come out. Oh, I had this Raichu. Ooh, it's a first edition. I did not have this Raichu. Well, anyway. I could look at Pokemon cards all day. I love the art. I love the Mons. You know how it is. But yeah, sometimes we sell video games too, I guess.
Welcome to today's trade clip. Let's start over here. We've got a lot of Vita stuff coming in. This is from that guy who's been bringing in a lot of his collection. Lots of limited run stuff. Most of the limited run stuff, if they have alternate artwork, we price it the same. So it's just kind of a toss-up of which artwork you get. We try not to be too complicated when it comes to stuff like that, because it can be incredibly difficult to price things when we do it that way. But if you see something you need, feel free to check it out at doublejumpvideogames.com. All this stuff is available. And I know Cooper wants to see it gone because none of this will fit in our Vita cabinet. Let's move over here. We got some cartridge stuff. Picross 3D, always a solid choice. Majora's Mask. I don't know if anybody played Picross 3D Round 2 on the 3DS. It was a download-only title in North America. We have a German copy of it physically, which is weird that the PAL regions got physical copies, but we didn't, but whatever. Anyway, that game is a solid puzzle game. We have some of these import games. I guess it looks like there's only 2 of them. A little difficult to price, but we tried our best, and by we I mean me. This is missing the manual of all things, which is a little weird, but the soundtrack is still there, and some of that. Lots of cool PSP stuff, Final Fantasies, some of our cheaper stuff back here, and some Zelda games that came in today, and a Bro Oasis. So anyways, thanks everybody for trading. We'll see you in the next one.
So many good games traded in. We have Last of Us Part 1 and 2, Dragon Quest, Atomic Heart, a boxed PlayStation Portal, and Clock Tower. That is the region-free Asia import that has the English options on it, but it's not the limited run release, which is pretty pricey. We got Rise of the Ronin, Silent Hill 2, One Last Breath, and then up here, we're gonna jump up here actually, and we have some PS4 and PS2 titles, some PlayStation 1 titles as well, back over to the Xbox and PS3, and then factory sealed coated arms. Up here we have some Switch titles. I believe that these all came from one customer as well. We got that Lost Sphere, that is a PAL import. And then we got PS2 games, Twisted Metal, Simpsons Road Rage. Somebody got an amazing deal on Wii Sports Resort at Goodwill. And then Tekken, as well as GTA, Killzone Trilogy, lots of collections. And then all of these came from one customer as well. They also traded in an N64 and a Coral Pink Switch Lite. Got Bomberman, Donald Duck, Lion King, Area 51, some more PS1 titles right over here, World's Scariest Police Chases, Lilo and Stitch, and that Metal Gear Solid. Twilight Princess was a late trade-in that came in right before we closed, and then we have these two older guides from Prima that are definitely older format. This one's a little bit closer to how it was towards the end. And then this is a Japanese DS Lite. It's that navy blue. It's super pretty.
Oh hey, what up? I'm still getting over being sick, so if I sound phlegmy, that's why. Also, sorry to use the word phlegmy. That makes me cringe every time. It's like the word moist. I just don't like it. But all these PS2 games you're seeing, it's the last of what Cooper's bringing in. It's all from Cooper's collection. All the PS1 and other PS2 games, like the higher end PS2 stuff, he's saving for the new store. So, if you see anything here, snatch it while you can. Get some loose 64, some loose Game Boy. Looks like we got some Sonic. Yes. Some more PS2. I see stickers on some of them. These should all be cleaned up by the time they go out for sale, so don't worry about that. A lot of these are new as well. Celebrity Deathmatch, nice. Van Helsing. Chamber of Secrets. Bam, got a couple PS3 games it looks like. Conan. Getaway. See if I can not drop Cooper's phone while I get this awkward angle here. Some more Vita games, nice. I know we have a ton of Vita that was traded in, so all that is obviously on the website, but now if you're a local person, it's also in the cabinet. So we got a couple rows of Vita games, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. Even collector's editions, that kind of stuff, which is cool. Some Switch, a couple more Vita, PS4, oops, handoff there, PS5, got some strategy guides, and more surprise boxes for Prismatic, which is kind of cool. I think it has 4 packs in there, and then a random evolution, like the EX Terra style, obviously not the full art one. We got a Sonic Bank. It took me a second because I couldn't tell what that was, and then I decided to read. I think it says, yeah, right there, Ceramic Bank. So how adorable. Some cheaper titles for PS3, PS5. And then I figured we'd finish it off with more Cooper's collection. Got some sealed stuff there. But then we got all the cheap stuff right here. There's a ton of it. I got to sticker all these, so I kind of got to see what it was. And there was one game I've been looking for. It was a Cartoon Network Racing. I was hoping it'd be in here, but it wasn't on the spreadsheet, so that tells me it doesn't have it. So one day, hopefully it'll get traded in. I rented that from Blockbuster when I was younger, and the disc was so scratched, and the guy was like, there's nothing we can really do, so I didn't actually get to play it, which was disappointing, so one day. Alphabet, finally. Spider-Man 3, Spyro, nice. Heck yeah. Wrapping it up here with the last one. But As always, I hope you're all feeling good. You're not sick like myself. And I'll see you next time or on the Whatnot stream. Check it out if you haven't seen one of our streams before. Bye.